What is up, everybody? Welcome back to Work Knife Balance. We're going to be taking a look at a Miguron knife tonight. So this is going to be one that I haven't even taken out of the package yet, so we'll go ahead and do first impressions with this right here. But before we get too far into that, I want to go ahead and say thank you to anybody who's already liked and subscribed to our channel. If you haven't, feel free to hit that subscribe button down below, or you can hit the logo in the corner. Also, head over to Instagram and like us at Work Knife Balance 939. If you want to send us a knife, we'll go ahead and review it, and then we'll send you back one of these sweet stickers as a thank you when we're done with it. It's a great way to communicate with us, talk to us, let us know what you want to see, what you don't want to see, and all that kind of fun stuff. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and open this up. And I thought it would only be fitting to use one of my more recent Miguron purchases right here. So this is going to be the Premium Verona. Head into that. Get it open. Let's do one more along that edge. There we go. Now I should be able to peel that back a lot easier. And I apologize. This is actually the Miguron Centurion, as I see on the sticker on the back there. So, sweet. Had the name wrong there for a second, but we got it all figured out. Another Miguron little cloth, so got a little stack of lots of different cloths. This is Miguron's little kind of card that comes with all of them as well. And we'll go ahead and open this up, and that is everything on it. So I do like Miguron's packaging quite a bit. It's just nice, easy, very sleek, and you don't have to worry about it. The one thing I will say is I like when, if you're not going to give me a zipper case, at least give me like a little cloth bag to put the knife in. So if I'm sending it to someone else, I can do that. And yes, look at that. So much oil all over the knife. That's how they come every single time you get a knife from overseas. It is definitely oiled up, but it's good, so you know that the knife is going to be well taken care of. So I like to just kind of, especially with the carbon fiber, rub that oil in there though, so that way you can see it kind of feel. So definitely a little slimy today, so we'll go ahead and yeah, first impressions, I really like the blue on that carbon fiber. So I don't know how, I would love to, yeah, I don't know how, but I would love to know the difference in the carbon fibers and like how they've come across them and stuff like that. So, but I believe this is just kind of a weave carbon fiber in there with the blue color streaks through it right there. You've got a titanium bolster to it as well with some really nice, see if we can get that just to zoom in on the knife and not my hand. There we go. You've got some really nice milling on that bolster there, as you can see as well, and you've got a little bit of a color around the collar on that side as well with the Miguron logo. So let's go ahead. It looks like only a thumb stud deployment, no front flipper, no flipper on the back or anything like that. So you could reverse flick or thumb stud it out. Let's go ahead and see how it opens. Ooh, that was smooth. That was actually surprisingly really smooth. It's been a while since I've had a new Miguron in my hand. That was not too light, but I don't know. That actually does kind of feel a little. No, I like it. Yeah, it's pretty sweet. So I like that. It's definitely got a snappiness to it. Not the strongest detent in the world, but it is good enough to whip it out there. So yeah, we're sitting on M390 steel. I do like how Miguron doesn't put a lot of billboarding all over his knives. He typically hides what we're looking for right there. See, M390, and that's about it. That's all you're going to see on the knife. You're not going to see the name of the knife anywhere. You're not going to see a maker's mark or anything like that. He puts his maker's mark, his company logo on the pivot there. So the blade itself is just clean. It's nice. And the blade, speaking of the blade, it looks like we have a sandblasted or a bead blasted finish to the blade here. So you don't have to worry about shiny streaks or anything like that. I would love to see what this knife looked like with kind of a stonewash finish to it, so we might do some We might do some customization to something like that. Other than the actual finish though, the ergos on it, having that little ramp for your thumb there, feel fantastic. This is a little bit of a bigger knife, so it fits in your hand really well. You can choke up a little bit on that choil. It's not necessarily made to be a finger choil, I don't think, so you can choke into it, but if you needed to, you could. Just be careful about the way that you hold it. Pinch grip, pretty good. Kind of a big knife for a pinch grip, but definitely works, and I would say, yeah, not much more than the just kind of traditional hold to the feel there. Let's go ahead and do some measurements on this bad boy, and then we'll do side-by-side comparisons with some other knives. Looking at tip to tail, we're looking at about 8.25 inches. Yeah, I'd say just under 8.25, so 8.2 inches on tip to tail is what we're measuring. Say 3.5 on the blade length, about 3.44 on the cutting edge. 3.45 was just a little bit smaller there. So yeah, the closing action, probably because it's just still brand new too, just need to loosen it up, break it in a little bit. Not quite like drop shutty or anything like that, which not every knife needs to be. But you do have, I would say, a good detent. Not an amazing detent, but a good detent, opening it up. You can see as I reverse flick, it doesn't necessarily always want to go out there quite as fast or quite as snappy. With my thumb, I really kind of give it a flick with that thumb to open up, but with the reverse, it's a little bit slower. So that detent isn't dialed amazing. It's not like some of the other Migurons I have. This one right here, for instance, boom, this thing is dialed, but it's also been carried quite a bit and worked in a lot too. So that Centurion though, I would say probably just working it in a little bit, and it's going to be just as dialed as a lot of the others that we have over here. So yeah, let's go ahead and do those side-by-side comparisons. We'll go ahead and pull out the Ontario Rat 1 up top, and then we'll go ahead and do the Rat 2 down below, lining up the pivots, making that side comparison a little bit easier. Really close in size to that Rat 1 right there. It actually does look a little smaller on the handle side, but the blades are almost spot on from where I'm looking from my angle right here. So that's going to be probably our closest comparison, is that Rat 1, especially in the blade size and blade length. That's going to be probably exactly what you'd be looking for in something like that. We'll go ahead and pull out Spyderco pair 2, pair 3, just to kind of look at these right here. Another pretty close comparison. Obviously it's a bigger knife, so it's going to compare a lot easier and closer to the big knives out of the 4 that we look at here. But yeah, I would say the closest comparison is going to be that Ontario Rat 1 for sure. Now, the good, bad, and the ugly. Not much ugly, but I will say I do not like when we have scales that you have the hardware showing on the outside like that. Please just find a way to hide it. Miguron has some really good knives that he's done with inlays on them that he's not showing any hardware. That inlay would have been really sweet to see that kind of pressed in there, or found a way to fasten it from the inside so you have a clean show side. Sometimes this is a design aesthetic choice where makers want to put that out there, designers want to put that out there. I personally don't like it. I want it hidden. I want to hide these so I can see just a clean show side, and the knife really kind of in its glory shows for what it is. Other than that, aesthetically, there's not much that I dislike about this knife. I really like that they chose to do the milling, and this is kind of just standard Miguron milling for sure. This is nothing new, and it's definitely not going away anytime soon. Almost every premium Miguron knife is going to have these little milled lines coming through here and have that Miguron logo right there. I would love to see Miguron start doing something on the back spacers right here, just to get away from the plain Jane, whether you're anodizing the back spacers to match whatever color you're putting on the knife as your accent, or you're doing some milling through the back spacers or something like that. That would be really cool. You do have the titanium pocket clip here. It is not ambidextrous, it doesn't look like, so it's only going to be carried one way, which is totally fine in my opinion. I don't think a lot of people out there can complain in today's day and world about not having an ambidextrous knife. I know people will, and that's a choice thing, and I get it. I understand where they're coming from, but even in a knife that is a frame lock like this, something that's going to be a frame lock or a bolster lock, whatever you want to call it, if you flip over the pocket clip, it's still not an ambidextrous knife, because this is how you have to lock it. You have to lock it much easier with your right hand. Open and close that locking mechanism with your right hand. It's a lot harder with your left hand, because as you're pushing this over, you're still in the way of the blade. So it's meant to be used with your right hand a lot easier. So I don't think there's a need to make the pocket clip ambidextrous when the locking mechanism will not and can't be ambidextrous. So I'm totally okay with that, especially on knives like this. Now if this was any sort of like bar lock or access lock, then you've got a different, you have an ambidextrous locking mechanism. So yeah, make the knife ambidextrous and put a pocket clip on both sides. Something with like a push button, same thing. You have an ambidextrous way to lock it, so, or unlock it so you can close it. And in that case, then yeah, make it 100% ambidextrous and put it over on both sides. So yeah, or like the shark lock or anything that's on the back side here that you could easily operate from both hands, that would be another one too. So yeah, other than that, I think it's a pretty sweet knife. We're starting to, you can actually start to see this thing start to break in after just messing with it here for the 10 minutes or so that we've been messing around with this knife here. And that's probably what I would do, is just sit around and flick this open and close for a while and see how long it takes me to fully, oh, see, there, that's what I was talking about. The detent, that could have been me 100%. The detent is good, not great, but it does still have really good action, and it is a really good knife. So yeah, not much left to say about this Miguron. The Miguron Centurion, I will post this link below. If it's an Amazon link, you can follow that, and it does support our channel, and we thank you 100% for that. If it's not an Amazon link, it's most likely not going to support our channel at all. It's just for you to find really good deals and get some sweet stuff. I don't have any codes, but you could probably search another great YouTube channel out there and find some codes for some of these knives if you want to save some money like that. But yeah, until next time, TTFN.